Hi Cancer, welcome to your monthly Tarotscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant.reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. So if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. I would love you forever for it. If you are already a continued subby, thank you so much for all of your continued support. It means the absolute world. Finally, if you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me, you can do so on the email address below. And yeah, before we start, I would like to bless all three of my decks with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's see what the month of September has in store for you, Cancer. So first things first, your actions and your interactions with the world at large. So you get the Queen of Wands. This is great. So as a person, the Queen of Wands is a fire sign female. So this would be an Aries, a Leo or a Sagittarius. Or it could be somebody that has a lot of the traits that are, you know, represented by the Queen of Wands. Somebody that's deeply sensual, lots of energy, feisty, vibrant, fun. You know, somebody that's actually deeply connected with the mysteries of life. And, you know, when I say that, what do I mean? On a practical level, this would be somebody that just demonstrates an internal knowing. Somebody that has a surety or a confidence about them that seems to come from some place that you can't quite put your finger on. That's what I mean by in touch with the mysteries. So your actions and your interactions this month are going to be ones of fun, vibrancy, feisty, you know, feistiness. This is about you getting in touch with life. It's about you being a liver of life. It's about you being, you know, it's about you putting yourself out there. Because as a sign that it specifically represents, even though you're a Cancer, this card actually would be talking about Leo. And that tells me that this month is very much your actions are kind of, it's you putting yourself out there. It's you putting yourself on stage. You're going to find just that this month you've got a renewed sense of self-confidence. You've got a renewed sense of self, of understanding yourself, of what it is that you want to achieve, where it is that you want to go. And this month, if you haven't already, you know, throughout August, you will definitely start to see some kind of some sort of what's the word, some sort of validation, and it will be an external validation of everything that you've already started working on. So for all the efforts that you put in August that you didn't see any return from, in the month of September you start to see them. This is you just really kind of almost want to say like strutting your stuff. It's like you putting yourself out there and saying, yeah, you know what, I remember who I am, I remember what I'm about, I know what I've got to offer the world. And this is you going out there to do it. This is you staking your claim of life, in life, for yourself. Really, really exciting, you know. And there's a Wands card underneath the actions and interactions. That's the fire suit within the fire sector, you know, which is really exciting because it means that this month is going to be the month where you really start to make some moves. Very, very exciting. So your money and your materials this week, this month. I keep saying week because I've just finished filming the weekly videos, so I keep saying it. Okay, so your money and your materials this month. Your money and your materials, this is going to see you getting very discerning about your money this month. So the Page of Swords is, it's kind of like the mind is sharp. This month you're going to be able to account for every penny, and you're going to be very astute. If people are asking you for money and you think, no, that's a wasted resource, you will be quick on that to say, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to give it, I'm not going to lend it. You know, and for any of you that are asked this month to borrow money, I would just be sure that it's something that you have to give instead of loan, because you might not get it back in the time frame that you hope to get it back in. Also, because of this renewed sense of self and vigor and whatnot, you're going to be quite, not forceful, but you will be quite forthright about everything, especially when it comes to your resources. And I kind of feel that this month you might well come up against some people that are like, oh, you know, you've become really self-centered, or you've become really selfish, and it's not actually that. It's actually that you're in a space now to start mothering yourself instead of running around and mothering everybody else. You know, so the Page of Swords in your money and your materials for this month is saying to you, you're getting really sharp, really aware and really concise and consistent with you know, with your finances and your money and your materials in general. It also says that you'll be coming up with some sort of idea to maximize the best that, excuse me, to maximize excuse me, to maximize the best that you can get out of the money that you have, or the way that you earn your money currently. For those of you that do seek a job interview, or go for a job interview this month, it looks really good, really good. So next is your communications with the world at large. So you get the Temperance card. Temperance is beautiful because as your communication sector, it kind of says that your communications will be peaceful this month, providing you do put yourself forward. And what I mean by that is, you know, because Temperance represents liberation, it represents alchemy, it also represents spiritual alchemy and spiritual distillation. And in your communications, this is kind of saying it's about adapting your communication style to the situation or the person at hand. And this month, because your mind is so sharp anyway, especially in terms of money and materials, in your communications, you're going to be very aware of how to adapt, you know, your approach, the words that you use, your style of work, everything that you're able to do. This month you will find yourself being really able to adapt your approach, and quite rightly, not quite rightly so, quite elegantly so is the word that I want to use. It's almost it will come with so much ease and finesse that you'll probably even have moments where you're like, damn, I'm on fire this month. And good, great, own it. You know, tap into that energy, be a part of it, make sure that you know that you route it into everything that you are and everything that you do. Your communications look really good this month, and they're going to take on a very expansive feel as well. You know, your communications this month are going to be broad and varied, but more importantly, you are going to be adaptable to each and every type of situation that you find yourself in. So very, very interesting and very exciting as well. And then we have your heart and your hearth. So your heart and your hearth is about your closest relationships, for those of you that are partnered and coupled, for those of you that are single, you know, people that you spend a lot of time with, like on a close sort of one-to-one basis. And then you have, look at that, you've got the King of Swords. Now the King of Swords would be an air sign male, and this would be an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. This is somebody that's very intelligent, somebody that's very smart, at the height of their game. This is usually like, you know, doctors, lawyers, professors, police officers, people of status, people that are seen to have a specific type of role that puts them quite an elevated sense. So your communications and your heart and your hearth are kind of saying that this month everything gets more official. This month everything, so for those of you that are partnered, if you're not married, this could be where you go public. So for those of you that have just got into a couple, and you've, you know, been testing the waters and seeing, and then you've made the step, this is where this month you go public. For those of you that are already in established couples but aren't yet married, this is you saying, this is the time. And the reason I say that is because the King of Swords, like I said, he represents all things of status. And this month there's a status change. This month there is, you know, there's for, like I said, for some of you this is going to be, you know, saying, look, I'm actually with somebody, you know, and you declare it to the world. For others of you, this is going to be about you taking that step and getting engaged. For some of you, this will be about you actually going through the steps of getting married. And for others of you, for those of you that are single, people that are in positions of authority, people that are in positions of power, people that are intelligent, possibly even older than you. You know, I don't know all of your ages because there's a lot of you out there watching, but you know, this is generally somebody that has status, somebody that has done all of their achievements. That will be the sort of energy that's coming in for you. If you are single and you are looking, the sort of person that you will be attracted to and drawn to, that you will cross paths with this month, will likely be slightly older than you or very mature in their outlook or demeanor. And they will also be somebody that has their own status, or somebody that has achieved something that is quite what's the word, yeah, like a position of status of some sort, I guess is what I want to say. So then we have, I've changed up the spreads just to keep it fresh. You know me, I like to keep growing and I like to do it with you. So the first week of September, The Sun card, beautiful, absolutely stunning. The first week of September, you're feeling strong, you're feeling fun, you're feeling vibrant. You want to, you know, you are literally living and loving life. You're just out there, you're tapping into the universe, you're tapping into yourself. But this joy, this optimism, like the first week of September, have fun. Just have fun and be yourself, you know, laugh with people, flirt with people. You obviously don't take the flirting too far if you're in a couple. But, you know, just live life. Eat well, drink well. And that doesn't mean, you know, go out and get trashed and just eat takeaways all day. Or, you know, for some of you, that it might be that, you know, 1 or 2 days a week, not going to hurt you. 5 or 6 days a week, probably not going to do you any good. But, you know, the first week of September, indulge in life and everything that it's got to offer. The second week of September, oof, okay, it looks challenging. It looks like it's going to be a challenge. The second week of September, especially underneath the Page of Swords, this is what I was talking about. It's likely that people are going to notice these changes in you and they're going to love it. But when it starts to interfere with their point of reference of you, that's when it will become a problem. And the words that have just popped into my head is, I remember once seeing a quote, people will love that you don't take any shit until they try to give you some. Yeah, and the way that I've taken it to mean is it's like people are like, yeah, I love this person and they take no shit. And then when they try to give you some shit and you shut them down or, you know, cut them off, they're like, I know, you know, and this is what I'm saying to you. So the second week of September, expect to come up against some barriers, and it's not about you, it's about other people's reference point to you, especially if you've been financing somebody or looking after somebody, or, you know, this will be the moment where you say to yourself, actually, I can't do this anymore because I need to be a bit more self-focused, and I need to, you know, to do what I've got to do to get to where it is that I want to be from here on in. And what you come up against is other people's resistance. Some of them, because it's the Tower, let's be honest, you know, it's a very Uranian energy. Some of them will be very surprising. Some of the people that are either the naysayers or the ones that want to try and cut you down or hold you back, you'll be surprised about. You know, you'll be surprised. Actually, you'll be like, oh shit, I didn't expect it to come from you. I thought it would come, but I didn't expect it to be you. The third week of September. You get the Emperor card right underneath Temperance, and this kind of says to me, so the Temperance, like I said, is about blending things, it's about patience, it's about doing things. Excuse me. The third week of September sees you doing things, sees you getting committed, like you're having fun, you're enjoying the month, you're, you know, traversing things in the right way. But the third week of the month, the third week of September, sees you getting committed to something. It sees you really deciding to commit yourself to a path going forward. It's like this month you have a little glimpse of how good things can be and how much confidence you can have and how much you can present yourself. But then the third week you decide to commit yourself to something. For some of you, this is going to be about you deciding to take a course. The reason I say that is because this represents the institutions. You know, so this could be school, it could be university, it could be a hospital, it could be anything like that. For a select few of you, I would like you to be very, very careful in the second and third week of the month, because when these cards fall together, you know, that could be a hospital stay due to some kind of accident or anything like that. This card represents Aries, and this card represents Uranus, Uranus, whatever, however the fuck you say it. So many people get so anal about it, and it's like, oh, whatever, okay. But yeah, I would like you to be really careful in these 2-3 weeks. Be very conscious of anything that you're doing that has a potential for risk, you know, on a physical level. You know, if you see something and you think, oh, someone's going to trip over that, move it so that it's not you. Do you know what I mean? It's like kind of that kind of energy. But the third week, you're getting committed to something and you're deciding to really put your effort into something, you know, and stick with it. For those of you that decide to study spontaneously, really good things happen for you. And then finally, the fourth week of September, you get the Hierophant card. Isn't that interesting? Because I was just thinking to myself, like, the The Emperor represents the institutions that make up a wider society. The Hierophant card represents it represents the structure of society. So in the old days it would have been the church, because the church ruled everything. They ruled the government, they ruled the monarchs and all the rest of it. Nowadays this tends to be about the government. It tends to be about the things in an official capacity. For some of you, something big in the 4th week shapes up in terms of, you know, signing on the dotted line or committing yourself to something. For some of you, this is going to be about deciding to go back to school. For others of you, this is going to be about you taking on some form of new work, some sort of new status for yourself. It could be as well, because you've got the Emperor card there. And the Emperor card, like I said, is about committing yourself to something. But what is the Emperor? Effectively, the Emperor is a king. You've got a queen and you've got a king in here as well, which is, you know, really interesting. And then the Hierophant card in the 4th week is basically saying to you, you know, this is now, things need to take more of an official step. So this could see you dealing with government bodies. It could see you dealing with, you know, local authorities, especially with these two, because although this is, as I've said, it can also represent police officers. It can represent all of those things as well. So when I see these 3 cards here as well, like in really close proximity, for some of you this will be local governments, for others this will be governing bodies, for some of you it will be the government directly. But it looks like everything's moving in a really much more official capacity. It's kind of like you start off the month having lots of fun and just enjoying and thinking, like, you know, you're open to life. You're really open to life and what it could mean for you and where it could take you. And on that path, it kind of leads you towards making something official. If you've got a hobby, that hobby stops being a hobby and starts to become a skill. That skill then becomes a job, and vice versa. You know, this is about taking things that are loose and then tightening them up so that they can become like some sort of terra firma or foundation. Very interesting month. And your key to the month is the Wheel of Fortune. Luck, abundance, and happiness are following you. Also, this card represents fortuitous events, but it's things that, again, things that come sort of unexpected. The Wheel of Fortune has actually got links to Jupiter, and Jupiter expands things. He blesses things. He you know, it involves the law as well. You know, there's definitely something legal taking place for the Cancerians this month. There's definitely something of a really official capacity you know, shaping up and taking place. And luckily all the planets that we would need to be direct will be direct in that respect. Jupiter will be direct. Mercury will be, you know, fully direct by the 2nd of September. So, you know, and this is looking, like I said, towards the end of the month. But surprise happenings, fun, enjoyment, vibrancy, you know, self-confidence. It's going to be a really great month. Cancer, I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Have an amazing month. I'll see you very soon for more videos. Take care.